Yay, we're live.
Hello, everyone. We are alive and we are live. So we've got a great evening scheduled for ahead of us. Thanks everyone for reaching out. Thanks everyone for joining us. At this point, I'm not seeing the count yet, so I don't know how many people are going to be with us tonight. But we've got a fun-filled evening. So we've got 28 are already in the stream. And we'll do a couple introductions, and then we'll get started with the sale. If you're looking at your screen, you will notice there are only 3 people on the screen tonight. Unfortunately, Misty from ThrifterJunkerVintageHunter had a family emergency and is unable to attend. So she contacted us shortly, about an hour ago, let us know that she wouldn't be able to make it. Obviously, her family comes first, and we wish her the best. So we are just going to do this evening with just the 3 of us. So tonight you've got me as the host. My name is Patrick, for those who do not know me. I'm Trusty Huckster Mercantile. I have been doing my own live sales, and those are happening on Thursday evenings. I'll have another one this coming Thursday at 7 p.m. Central, so the same time. I see a lot of familiar names on this one. Hi, Julie from AJ's Retro and Vintage. Gypsy Mills has joined us again. Al Brinkley, so some great names. Laura Bimos, thank you so much all for joining us. Hopefully you'll like the way things work. I'm going to do a little bit of the housekeeping and then pass the introduction and let Vinny and George introduce themselves. If you've never attended a sale, a live sale like this, it works fairly straightforward. We will each show one item. We will describe that item, and depending on which one of us is, it might be a long-winded description, might be a short description. We will tell you the price of that item, and then we will reveal the number. The first person to to type that number into the live chat is the person that will receive that item. Now, a couple notes on that. It is the first person that is read in the live chat that we see. So there is an ongoing problem that if you've not participated in these before, you need to be aware of. Fast internet is your friend. And in some cases, if you start to buffer, you may not know it. And you might discover that people are claiming a number before you ever hear a number said out loud. It means that your internet has fallen behind of the stream. Best thing to do is refresh your screen, maybe wait until something sells you didn't like, and go ahead and refresh it so you've got the freshest stream. But those are the warning signals. If you start seeing people claiming in the chat a number that you haven't heard, it means you've fallen behind. It is the first number that we see on our end, because if you are buffering, you might see yourself being the first number simply because of your connection, but we have to go with what hits us first. And so there's really no debate on that. We have moderators off screen. They'll be monitoring and following along. It's just the first one. So the first person to claim it gets it, and all of the prices that we will be giving you do not include shipping. What is important to note that although this is a joint sale, we are all very happy to combine items that you buy from us into a combined shipment, but we cannot combine across the 3 sellers. I am in Illinois, George is in Kentucky, and Vinny is in Maryland. So we are literally unable to combine for shipments. So just keep that in mind. If you buy 3 items from 3 different sellers, you're going to get 3 different shipments. So just keep that in mind. Vinny's on the East Coast, 2 of us are in the Central. That's just something you're going to have to monitor. When you get an item, you will send an email to each of the sellers and with your address and your PayPal address, and if necessary, give us your YouTube name versus your real name, because sometimes we can't figure that out. So send us that at the end of the sale. We have no way to reach out to you if you do not reach out to us, and so we will be putting all of the email addresses in the chats. So that's enough for me. Those are the rules. Those are the housekeeping. I hope we're going to have a good night. So I'm going to pass it over and let Vinny introduce himself a little bit.
So I am Vintage Vinny, for all of you who don't know that. I've been selling stuff since I was like 16, 17. I have a knack for all the kitschiness of the 50s and 60s. I've been doing YouTube since about 2013, like right after I got out of high school, just to share what I love and what's been going on in my family for like, what, 3 generations? Is that too quick?
A very abrupt ending.
No, that's great. Well, it's nice to be with you all. Thanks for joining us. I'm George the Antique Nomad, and I'm an antique dealer, and I conduct appraisals and estate sales and do shows. I've just gotten back from Florida with a bunch of stuff from consigners. So, boy, I've got a lot of merchandise. I'll try not to overload you too much tonight, but this will be fun.
Excellent. Well, I'll go ahead and get things started. The first item that I have for tonight is kind of a carryover for people who participated in my sales already. I've had a handful of sales. I just started them a few weeks ago, but they've been going fairly well. And you might see an ongoing trend that I've had pieces of this collection that I had picked up at an estate sale that has popped up in most of my sales to date. It is a piece of Hull pottery. It is marked Hull with the embossed mark on the bottom. This is the cornucopia vase. I've had the double vase in the same colorway. It's the yellow with the green, the lighter color that moves up to the green on the top, but then the pink on the base itself. I've had the double vase in this pattern, and then I also had the swan that kind of goes along with the swan planter. In all three cases, I got them at a really good price, so I'm passing them on to a good price for you. This Hull cornucopia vase is $8, and you can claim it by giving me typing in number 314. So the Hull vase, number 314 for $8. And then I will pass it over to Vinny.
Okay, so I guess the very first thing that I'll share with you all is something I picked up just, yesterday? It's made by St. John's Bay. It's a purse, like a little, I don't even know what to call these because I'm no lady. So it's one of these purses made by St. John's Bay, which is a JCPenney brand. It features a pinup girl with a really cute, what is that, a collie? I don't even know my dogs anymore. To me, she kind of looks like Shakira from a modern standpoint, but from a retro standpoint, she has the face of Lana Turner. Inside is relatively clean. There are a couple of spots back here, like there's a slight pull right there and some markings right here. Overall, it's still in very good shape. And this is going to be $15, and it is number 405 if you are interested. $15, number 405 for the really cute retro looking purse.
All right, we'll bounce it over to George.
Well, while we're on the theme of boudoir things and purses, my first item is a compact, and this one is an Elgin American. Hopefully that will come in. There we go. I'll tip it so you can kind of see the pattern. It's a nice floral, and it's bicolored, meaning it's got the gold and the silver. This is a trend that comes up about every generation where they're sort of crossing over between gold and silver as colors. And this just happened again recently, so this is rather timely. But this piece is from the 1960s. It's one of the last things Elgin American made. They quit making in 1963. And so this is going to date from about that time. And it is number 265, priced at $20. 265.
All right, I'll bring it back over to me. And another theme that has been popping up in my videos to date is although I am an Etsy seller, I really only have a presence on Etsy. I had a friend who had a gift shop, and I had helped source items for that. Vintage, a little bit more contemporary, tended to have a cocktail theme. And that gift shop unfortunately closed as a result of the current situation going on. And suddenly all of those items entered my ownership again, and I can't sell them on Etsy because a lot of them are too new. So what's been popping up on a lot of my videos have been items such as this. It is not particularly old. It is a glass cocktail shaker. It has the recipes on the side. So Cosmopolitan, the Mai Tai, the margarita, whiskey sour, all the way around. It's in great condition. The recipes themselves are printed in black graphics against the white, kind of a frosted, and all of the graphics are still in really good condition. The frosting is all still a little bit there. You can see a couple of scuffs that might be able to be polished up, but it has the lid on it as well as the cap. So this is a full piece. It is available, cocktail mixing glass. It is available for $9, and you can access it by taking number 301. 301 is the cocktail mixing glass for $9. And back to Vinny.
Okay, so Dad is watching, so he knows this item is his. I've had a few emails from the last one that I sold. It is a frame with vintage razors. I think this definitely appeals to those who like the industrial look, I would say. Just the different graphics and interesting images on all of these really cool packages. You just don't see them anymore, and they are just super, super cool. And it is going to be $30, and it's number 478 if you are interested. Let's see if that'll focus. Yep, $30, number 478.
I'll pass it over to George.
Well, those are really cool, Vinny. I bought a big collection of those last year, and they are fun. The graphics are just great. My next round, I'm going to cheat here because I have two because I want to show you before and after. So I've got these are both Kodak. This is 1920s and 30s when you have these diaphragms that come out. And this is the Valenda 620. You can see on the back this model. And then this one is the next generation where they're starting to get to where the lenses are included, but it still pulls out as a diaphragm. These were made in Germany because they had really good lenses over there as well. And these are both $20 each. Kodak is a made-up name. It was the first company that was just named after something they thought sounded good. And that was back in the 1890s. Nowadays, we have all sorts of companies where the names are fake, but they were the first. So the diaphragm camera is number 205, $20. And the Retinette is number 230, or the Retina 3 is number 222, $20.
All right, we'll bounce it back over to me. One of the things, if you follow my Instagram, Facebook, any things that you see on Etsy, I basically have a penchant for pottery, porcelain, glass. I really like basically all things vintage, but I tend to get into the decorative objects the most. And pottery is one of those areas that I like to explore some different aspects to it. And this is actually a piece that I picked up specifically to sell in these live sales. It is a piece of Harker pottery. It is, they actually put right on there, they are the oldest pottery in America. It is a hot oven Chinaware individual bean pot. Now this has the silver trim at the top. It's in really good condition, no chips or cracks, but you can see some of the silver, you know, there's, with the age, you've got some of the silver isn't in 100% perfect condition. But the idea that this, with this silver trim, would have been an actual individual baker, and this does appear to be what this was used for, from the oldest pottery in the poppy pattern. I just thought this was too cute to pass up. And I got it at a great price, so I'm passing a great price on to you. The Harker bean pot is available for $5. And you can get it by typing in number 306. So the Harker bean pot in the poppy pattern, 306 for $5. Back to Vinny.
Okay, so these are actually pretty popular when Misty sells them. And I found a few yesterday, and I thought maybe I would try selling them on here just to see if anybody would be interested. I've got a set of new old stock hankies. These ones are a little bit more intricate with the sparkly flower designs on them. Not really sure of the age. I would say maybe the 50s or 60s. They have a light pink trim on them. And since it is new old stock, I thought let's try it for $15, number 497. So if you are interested, number 497 is $15.
Great. Let's pop over to George.
Well, this is fun. I haven't done a sale just like this before, so all these ideas of like putting the number up, that was pretty smart. So hopefully you'll follow along with me. The next piece, and I'm going to do a twofer again because they're part of a collection and I want to show the different types that they have. These are Lenox, and these were made in Japan. Lenox didn't do all their work in the United States. These would have been done in the 1980s. The one on the left is part of their Princesses series. This is Rapunzel. They also did a prince for her. And the detail is really good. It's bisque porcelain. It's all hand painted. And you can see all down the back, all the detail in the robe. They just were really well done. I've just gotten a collection of about 30 or 35 variations of these. And so I wanted to show a couple here. So that's Rapunzel. And then this one is part of the American Songbook collection, and she is Rhapsody in Blue. And again, lots of detail. You can see on the back that she's all hand painted. They were very good quality. They were pretty expensive when new. I am selling them for $24 each. And Rhapsody in Blue is number 249 for $24. And Rapunzel is number 269, also for $24.
Can you repeat the numbers, George, one more time?
Sure. Rhapsody in Blue, 249, $24. Rapunzel, 269, $24.
And just as a reminder, George, the Antique Nomad, he will be shipping from Kentucky. Trusty Huckster, me, I am shipping from Illinois. And Vinny, Vintage Vinny, is shipping from Maryland. So if you're taking that into consideration, what the additional freight charges may be. If you joined my last sale, you might have seen I had a collection of this Heartland International Stoneware kitchen collection. I had the sugar and the creamer available in that sale, and I tempted or teased with the idea that I had this two-piece canister set that was also going to be made available. So I'm living up to my promise. I'm making these available. I don't know how many pieces of this set would have been initially offered. I'm assuming more than 2, most likely 3, if not 4, if you go with the sugar, flour, coffee, tea combination. These are not marked for the contents. They just have the farmhouse design on the front, and this smaller one has the little, I'm assuming they're geese, on the back. And then the larger of the two has the farmhouse on the front, and they got the little pig and the, well, 2 little pigs. And then on the back of this one is, I believe that is a peach, nectarine. I don't know. What's grown on a farm? Peaches? I don't know. I don't think it's an apple. But anyway, there's 2 of them. One is larger than the other. Both of them are available for one number, and you get them both for $6. So $6 for the 2-piece canister set. And you can grab that by giving me number 318. So 318, $6 for the both pieces of the Heartland canister set. Back to Vinny.
Okay, so running with the theme of hankies, I have another set here. This one, again, new old stock. It's got the sticker on it for hand loom embroidery, multicolored floral patterns on them. We've got pink, we've got blue, if I can remember where I'm pointing, and then we've got yellow. Also, $15 for the set, and this one is number 440. $15, number 440.
All right, I'm bouncing over to George.
This next piece is obviously a tissue holder. These were hand painted by a company called Ransburg in Indiana. They also did cookie jars and various things, and I have it upside down, I see, because one of the nice features is that if you don't want to sit it flat, it actually has this panel that comes off and it's got hangers for the wall. This is somewhere around 60 years old. I don't think it's ever been used, except that I'm clumsy. There we go. So this piece, the Ransburg for the tissues, is priced at, let me get myself organized here. It is $20, number 270. I'm sorry, $20, number 297, $297, $20.
All right. Before I put in my next item, there was a question that came in through the chat. For Vinny, is what was number 47?
We're good.
Okay, we figured it out. Never mind. So bouncing it back over to me and change the little banner. There's far too much multitasking. All right. So we just had two tissues, hanky tissue. We didn't plan our themes on this. So I kind of looked around and say, okay, what do I have that might meet this ongoing theme? I have a scarf. So if you had a really big sneeze, I guess you'd have a really big handkerchief. But this is a very cool scarf. I do not do, as a rule, I do not do fashion. I don't really do anything in this. But again, if you followed me in the past, I do a lot of things for theater. So I come across stuff on occasion. This is a blue, for lack of a better term, I'm going to say it's a silk scarf, but I don't think it's silk. It's probably some sort of an acetate. There is no tag on it. But what it includes is is a wide number of architectural landmarks and historic landmarks for New York City. So this was kind of fun because I was trying to figure out its age. And so I've got a little cheat sheet here that I've got to look at. Some of the items on here are, I don't know why they ever would have been included in a scarf. So the Guggenheim, okay, that's fine. But the Seagram's building, I wouldn't even know what the Seagram building looked like. And yet it's on this scarf. Guggenheim was opened in 1959. Seagram's was 1958. Pride of Place, right in the middle, is actually the United Nations headquarters, but that opened in 1952. So that's actually older than either Guggenheim or Seagram. So it's not like this was released at the time the the building was opened. You also have the Port Authority. I'm trying to see this backwards, which one's which. There's the Port Authority, which opened in 1950. MoMA opened in 52. There's a building on here called 666 Fifth Avenue. Okay, other than the fact that it's 666, I don't know what's noteworthy about that building, but that's on here. That was opened in 1957. And then in kind of the true historical moment, the Coliseum is on here somewhere, which opened in 1954, but was torn down in 2000. So most of these still exist. But anyway, so this must date somewhere after 1959. So the latest building that I could find on here was the Guggenheim. So it was either made in honor of the Guggenheim, but most of the newer buildings, a lot of historic ones, are all from the 50s. So this is a total mid-century modern 50s, probably maybe hitting 1960. Like I said, I don't know the material. There's no label on it. It has the rolled hem, for lack of a better term. And it's got New York printed across the edge on all of these. So the scarf is available for $9. So one scarf, $9. And you can have the $9 scarf by giving me number 315. So New York City scarf, landmarks, 315, $9. Back to Vinny.
Okay, so I have some photography, like photograph lots that I think some people might appreciate if they mat them and put them up. The first lot that I'd like to share with you all is, I guess you could say, like old building, like old rooms. They're like a tavern. So this one I think is of a conference room, probably most likely the 60s, because the Kodak box that I had these in is pretty old. So this is the first one. And then this one is on a mat, or put on a mat or something. This looks like an old restaurant, pub, or like a tavern. Another fun gathering place. Definitely has some age to it based on that light fixture and the, I guess, patent leather seats. And this one also, which is really cool, definitely, again, shows the age with the light fixtures and the chairs and all the furniture in the room. So this lot of photographs for the three of them is $12, and it is number 496. So that is $4 a piece. So you're getting that whole lot for $12, number 496. Let me show that again.
Awesome collection of photos, Vinny. All right, bumping over to George.
Okay, well, this is something fun for the bathroom, and it is this little set here. These are Miller Studio, and what's great about Miller Studio chalkware is it's almost always dated and signed. Now, it may be a little hard to see, but actually this camera is pretty good. Right there is where you see 1981 Miller Studio. And it's a bathymeter. The thermometer does work even under these hot lights. It is accurate, and it tells you various temperatures at which you will soak and sweat or shiver and shrivel. Try saying that 5 times fast. Anyhow, I thought that they were really fun, and they are priced at $15 the pair. They are number 299, Miller Studio, 299.15 for the set.
All right, so I don't think I have anything that cute. So we're going to go with the opposite of cute and just go with super traditional. I have a pair of hand-painted Nippon plates. This one has the little white heron in the grasses with the iris, and then this one has the blue bird, bluish bird with a yellow belly. I don't know what kind of bird that is, on the white cabbage rose on the branch. Both of them are stamped on the back as Noritake Nippon. So we've got some age getting into actual true antique pieces because I think, what was it, George? 1914 was when Nippon had to switch over to say Japan, 1914 or 1918. So these predate that. So we've got over 100-year-old pair of plates. You get both of the plates, and they're super flat plates with just a little bit of the gallery rim coming up. So they're not bowl shaped at all. These are very much under plates. Both cases, they're designed the same way. You get both plates for $8, and you're going to get them by claiming them with number 316. The 2 Noritake Nippon plates,
What?
$8, number 316. Now going over to Vinny.
All right, so again, running with the hanky theme. This is the last box that I have. This one also is new in the packaging, and it has the original tag on it. If my camera will decide to focus. If not, I'll read what it says on there. There we go. So it says nylon, wash and ship dry in seconds, no need to iron. These ones are floral, of course. They are blue, pink, and yellow. I don't know if this is considered chiffon because it's see-through. I don't know my linens very well. And it looks like on the back this says 1957, Carol something. I don't even know if it's going to show up on camera or not, but it says Carol Christina 1957. So this set, the only issue is the packaging has been taped back onto the box, and there is a crack like right here on the plastic. But other than that, these hankies are brand new, never used. It is $15, number 453. So you're getting this awesome set of new old stock hankies for $15, number 453.
All right, bouncing over to George.
Okay, so the next piece I have up to offer is this transistor radio in its original box. And at the bottom, it says Sylvania, a division of General Telephone and Electronics. Of course, GTE was, if you didn't have AT&T back in the old days, you probably had GTE. And because they weren't allowed to get bigger as a phone company, they went into other things. I thought this was great that it's got everything in it, and it has never been used. The earphones are still in the original cellophane, and it should be in perfect working order because it's never even had a battery in it. It's going to be from the mid-60s. And these are fun to display, and they're also collectible in their own right. And yes, it will work. And the number on this one, this is going to be priced at $20. This is number 282, $20, Sylvania Radio.
All right, well, bouncing back over to me. Now, this will be an item. I will be reminding you that I am shipping from the suburbs of Chicago. So this piece is an awesome piece. It's one of my favorite pieces that I picked up for the theater. This last graced the set of August Osage County in a community theater production in the western suburbs of Chicago. It is an aluminum bowl that is footed. You can see the beadwork on the bottom with a cover on it with a very large decorative ring. And what is special about the bowl, other than that it makes noise when it hits things, is it has the Pyrex bowl inside of it. So the large bowl holds the Pyrex bowl, and hopefully we can get it to show on the screen what the Pyrex says. I guess I'll go the other way because I'm seeing it, so you guys probably aren't seeing it. I am not a Pyrex aficionado, so I do not know. I do not know my stamps, so I do not know what the oldest, how old this one would be. But based on the looks, I would think this would be in the 50s, 60s era, and it just makes for a very impressive covered casserole to take to your next cookout for the next cookout after Memorial Day. My card dropped, so pulling up the card. It is an aluminum Pyrex set. You get the 3-piece set. It's probably going to weigh 2 to 3 pounds by itself because of that Pyrex glass, but the entire set is only $9 plus shipping. So just keep that in mind. $9 for the aluminum Pyrex set for number 325. So 325 gets the very loud aluminum Pyrex set. Over to Vinny.
Okay, so I have another group of photographs. There is one that is different from the other set of, how many are here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there are 6 photos in this lot. Again, they came from the old Kodak box, probably like a photography class project. Here's the first one. Get it to focus. So that's the first one, and then the next one I'm going to share with you in this lot is the same. They are just in different, I don't know how to describe it. So we've got, basically this girl looks like she is in almost looks like a beach attire, like something to cover up your swimsuit. They're black and white. They are very, very neat and intricate, very well done, I think. What do you call this? It's like it's in a different, like, the shots are like zoom in, zoom out photos. Like some of them are a different shot than others. But anyway, you get 5 of the same photograph along with that one that I just shared with you, this one. You are getting all of these photographs for $12, number 421. So that whole lot, oh my gosh, my camera just went right out of focus. So $12, number 421. And there are how many here? 1, 2, 3. So there are 6 of them, so that's $2 a piece. That's a really good deal.
That is. All right, passing it over to George. Oh, looks like, is George frozen?
Did you freeze on us?
Uh-oh. We cannot hear you, George, so I don't know if you've... it looks like you've muted yourself.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I can't unmute you, and you appear to be frozen. Let's see if there's anything in the little chat. All right, so we're going to get ourselves out of sync a little bit. So we'll skip over George until hopefully he can refresh and come back in. Hopefully he realizes that he's frozen. I can't imagine he wouldn't know at this point. But anyway, we'll switch it back over to me and see what happens. Okay, so hopefully George will be able to sign back in. But while we wait, we don't want everyone to suffer waiting with us. So we will just jump to me. And this basically epitome of the 70s. I do not do jewelry all that often. This actually came from my mother's collection. She tended to wear all silver tone, white gold tone jewelry. What's really nice about this piece is there is this clasp on the bottom that actually opens up and takes the fringe off. So you can have just this simple brooch that is basically symmetrical. But if you look on where the clasp is, it's slightly higher than middle. So it's designed to go this way. What I noticed, and in full disclosure, hopefully the camera will be able to tell, is it looks like at some point as you totally read all my cards, at some point it looks like the fringe was hung on both sides. So you have a little bit of discoloration on both the top and the bottom of where that little clasp rubbed against the beadwork of this piece. So it's still in great condition, and you're certainly not going to be able to tell it once it's hanging. And if you're not feeling like you have a fringe day, you can take the fringe off and just wear the pin. Otherwise, it just clips right back on, and you've got the fringe brooch. So fringe pin is $6, and you can claim that with number 311. So 311 gets you the fringe pin with the brooch plus the fringe hanging off, $6,311. Jump to Vinny.
All right, next item is a fun novelty item. I think this was a craft in the 60s and 70s. Oh, there he goes. Is he back?
He is back. Go ahead and finish yours, and we'll just be back in order. So he'll just...
All right. So this is a quote-unquote old phone planter. If Chapter 2 Vintage Co. is here, yes, this would be a great planter, as probably what its purpose was. It looks like the old antique phones from the early 1900s. I just thought it was really, really cool when I first found it. There is a mark on the bottom for, I guess, somebody's initials who painted this back in, what, the 60s, 70s. GF, this planter is free of any cracks or chips, as far as I know. It's just a little dusty because it was sitting in my storage area for a little while. This planter is $10. It is number 409. So number 409 is $10.
Everything can be a planter. All right, so we will pass it over to
Alex, yeah.
Absolutely, according to Alex. So passing over to George. Looks like George is back.
Hi there. Yes,
and we have sound.
We are having a little storm, but hopefully that won't happen again. In the meantime, I wanted to put this out. I put this on one of my daily posts, I think, on Instagram fairly recently. This is a pink pig. There were about 100 different varieties of these made by German potters, especially the Wheelock company. You can see made in Germany, a little bit of the ink stamp there, but they're really cute. They would have them posed in any number of different things. They could be pin dishes. They could be holding a barrel of Boston baked beans. This particular one is a bank. It has the slot up there. It also says it's a souvenir of Topeka, Kansas, but I just like that his face is on one end and, well, there's pork butt on the other end. So the pink pin is going to be $24, and it is number 244. $24 for the pink pig bank, number 244.
All right, we'll pass it back over to me. And what I've got is probably the oldest item. Yeah, probably the oldest item that I'm going to be including in the sale tonight. And so it's a little bit different, but I have a whole collection of these that I've slowly been selling on my Etsy store, and I'm going to be putting into my weekly sales. This happens to be my only international version, and it's an old stock certificate. And it is dated, you can see there in the middle, it's dated 1903. So the stock certificate was issued in 1903. What's really cool about this one is it has the stamps on the back, which I think either were used to receive payment, or I'm not 100% sure how the stamps were used. But this is fairly common when you get into the antique stock certificates. They'll have these variety of stamps, sometimes on the front, usually on the back. So this one is all in Spanish, and it is the Ocampo Mining Company, Compañía Minera Ocampo, and then I'm not going to try the rest. And it's, I believe it was based in Monterrey, Mexico, from what I could tell. So it's just a really cool looking piece, you know, from a typographical standpoint. Because of its age, it's on a really nice parchment. This is one of the oldest, not the oldest, but one of the oldest stock certificates I have that I'll be selling. But this is the only one that's in this kind of more of a parchmenty kind of paper. So it's going to frame really nice. They look great. I used to have these in a collection in my own office on two-sided frames where you've got the glass on both sides so people can look at both. It looks great. It's a great addition. You know, Father's Day is coming up, but, you know, go into a she shed as well. You've got the orange color. This one is just very graphically something interesting to look at. And it is available for only $10. And for $10, you can claim the stock certificate by using number 324. 324 for the Ocampo Mining Company stock certificates. Pass over to Vinny.
Okay, so this is kind of a lot of items. A lot of people seem to be interested in the old shaving mugs, but along with the mug itself, which, by the way, it's an Old Spice, I think this one might be a little bit newer. And when I say newer, I mean like maybe 60s, 70s, because when you feel it right here, you can feel like I don't know if they actually like stamped this on here at one point, because I know the older mugs, I think they pressed it into the porcelain and went over it, so you can't really feel the decal. Anyway, it's a Schulten Old Spice mug, and you're going to be getting a brush that has never been used, and this has strong set sterilized pure bristler faded. So that's what this part looks like. New, never been used. Dad, you might have to explain what kind of razor this is. It's a Seagull. And then you're also going to be getting a pack of Gillette razor blades to go with it. The whole lot is $15. And if my price tag will unravel, that would make it so much easier. So $15, number 456. You're getting all of that shaving stuff for that price. So number 456 for 15 bucks.
All right, passing it over to George.
Oh, that's a good deal for somebody, all that stuff. I have here a 1920s or 30s dresser box. Let me try to get it in screen. There we go. This is mirrored, so it might be real reflective, which it should be. It also has a mirror on the inside when you open up here. Let's see how that looks. Not too blinding. And then it's got dividers in the drawers. These would have been on dressers in the 20s and 30s or given as gifts and novelties. You see lots of different treatments on the top, but the silhouette's a little more unusual. And this piece is number 275, priced at $24. So the silhouette box, $24, number 275.
That's silhouette. Is that what's on there? Silhouette, I think.
Silhouette, yes.
Okay, that's
yes,
what
that's
I thought.
right. Yes.
And before I jump to my next item, there was a clarification that came up that this also is a canceled stock. It was canceled in 1950, I think it was. So it was canceled in 1950. And the stamps may have been used at the time it was canceled, but I think you also used the stamps. They have dates in between. That I think it was when you got your interest payment. So that was, oh, and that one was number 324. So sorry, but there was a question. Just wanted to answer that. So going from one of the oldest items in my collection to one of the newest items in my collection. Again, several pieces of cocktail themed items that came out of the gift shop. These are the ultra traditional Hard Rock Cafe beer glasses. These are not the Hurricane glasses. These do not have the stem. These are just the regular Pilsner glasses. One of them is the Boston and one is Orlando. So two of the Hard Rock Cafe beer glasses are available. You get both of them for $6. It's number 303. Hard Rock Cafe, Boston, and Orlando, 303 for $6. Back to Vinny.
Okay, so I've got another set, and I hope some of you will like this. So I assume this is probably from the 1970s, just judging by the handle, and there's not a mark on the bottom of the teapot nor the cups for these. It's a ship teapot, and it has the ship on both sides. Oh, pardon the glare there. And that does have a lid. I just didn't want it to come flying off when I showed you all the price. So it's in chip, no cracks or chips on either of those. And it comes with 4 of these. Ooh, one of them's not even showing the ship. So there's 2 of those, and then here is another set. So 4 cups and 1 teapot. Like I said, no markings to indicate who made it or what era it's from. The set of 4 mugs and the teapot is $30, and it is number 401. So that whole set is $30, number 401.
Great. Now I'm going to change orders because I have a teapot too. So I'll sell my teapot when it's my turn. We'll jump over to George. Does George have a teapot?
I don't have a teapot. I have necklaces, and I'm going to show 2 since it's Memorial Day. We've got Happy Red and a blue and lavender. These are all glass beads. These one on the left is 1940s with a filigree. It's about a 24-inch drop, so it's nice and long. And this would be all hand enameled. These are going to date again to about 1940 because of the filigree. And then the other one I'm going to show is afterwards, and you see a different kind of attachment. This one has the barrel clasp. They're both good because they're different kinds of safety clasps, so they don't fall off. This is 1960s colors with the lavender and the blue. These are both priced at $24 each. The red is number 262, red beads, $24. And the blue and lavender are $24, number 285.
Okay, excellent. I don't think I've got any necklaces, so I have to fulfill my promise of the teapot. So I don't want anyone to think that I only sell contemporary things, because those are the exception. So the Hard Rock Cafe glasses are not what I normally would sell, but this is a good outlet to sell some of the newer items. But going again into the antique level, we've got Nippon hand-painted porcelain. This one is this diminutive tea set. It's or teapot. It's in perfect condition. There's no chips or cracks or anything on the spout. It is marked with the Rising Sun logo with the hand-painted Nippon. So this, like the other plates were Noritake, this one is just a Nippon. And then as part of the set, you get the two little demi-tasse-sized teacups and saucers. So you've got the demi-tasse teacups and saucers. What I find interesting, I don't know if George can hear me, but I'm finding that some of the older pieces, particularly in the demi-tasse, the plates don't have the little indentation to hold the cup. So I don't know if that's the norm, and that indentation was something that came about later, or if technically the cup doesn't have its saucer and this is a side plate. But regardless, you get two plates, two cups, so two cups and saucers for all intents and purposes, plus the covered teapot. Again, everything's in perfect condition. Everything's marked. So all the pieces, it's available for only $12. So Nippon tea set for $12, and you get that by coming with number 308. So 308 is the Nippon teapot and the two cups and saucers. Jumping over to Vinny.
Okay, so I've got something that I hope a lot of you, again, will really like. So had these for a while. They were sitting in storage again as I was rummaging through stuff to make room for some more stuff. God, I don't like this noise. It's a set of chain animals. It's this really cute, kitschy dog with two pups. There are no markings on it to indicate who made it. It could be Yukago. It could be any of those ceramic companies. Here are the pups. They're in pretty good shape. No cracks or chips. Expect light paint wear with age. I think the pipe cleaner that was used to hold the pups together has been, of course, toyed with because it came apart over the years. But it's a really cute set, and it is going to be $30, and it's number 413. So number 413, the dog chains, is $30.
And move to George.
Okay, well, something for the 1970 kitchen would have been this guy. This is a company out of Texas called House of Moors. And you'll see their stuffed strawberries and chickens and this sort of thing. But you can tell 70s because you've got all the colors. You've got the orange red, the avocado, the harvest gold, all in one place. And it's got its 4 spoons. A lot of people like to collect these because they're useful as well as fun to just have around. And this one is $15, and it is number 254. So the Rooster spoon holder 254 is $15.
All right, popping back over to me. I've tried to have in a couple of different sales, Barb from the sidekick from Real Nifty Vintage. It does a lot with restaurant wear, and I carry it on occasion. And one of the things that I had that I wanted to introduce in this sale, because again, if George has any comments on it, this little dish to me is a porcelain dish, so it would not fall under the category of restaurant wear, but it was made by Syracuse, China. And so there was actually a live sale that took place earlier last weekend, over the weekend or last week. And I was actually even asking Barb about her knowledge, since she does a lot with restaurant wear. Does it do anything other than restaurant wear? What's unique to this one is you can see it at the top is it was created specifically for the Syracuse Symphony Ball. So it was a piece that was created in 1989. that was a piece of porcelain that was probably either a gift with your ticket or maybe a raffle prize or something like that. This very small little trinket dish. It's super cute. I actually have several of them that I'll be selling in my sales over the next couple of weeks. This one has the either the trumpet or the trombone. I think it's the trumpet with the flowers coming out of the top. They don't all have a musical theme to it, but they all have a different year. So this is a piece of Syracuse china. I just don't think it falls under restaurant wear, but it is Syracuse. So anyway, Syracuse china for the Syracuse Symphony. This little dish is available for $5, and you can get it by claiming with number 309. So 309, $5 for the little Syracuse Symphony gift item from Syracuse china. All right, popping to Vintage Vinny.
Okay, I think I do have a theme going here because I have multiples of different things. So running with the chain animals, I found this one a while back because it's so different. I've never seen birds before. I've seen dogs, I've seen cats, but I've never seen birds at all. This one does have a Japan stamp on the bottom, if it will focus. There we go. And unfortunately, the other day when I was pulling it out of storage, poor birdie broke. And I had to re-glue her, as you can see. I like to say that she was broken when I found her, and I guess whatever happened, whatever traumatic event happened downstairs, I guess just forced the breakage. She does have her cute little, what do you call these, birdlings? I don't know. Baby birds, not birdlings. They also have Japan stamped on their little feathery booties. This one, I'm going with $25, number 4037. Stop clacking birdies. So it is number 437, and it, again, $25. They'd be great for spring or for Easter. Just a really nice display, especially because you don't see the birds every day.
I've never even seen chained birds. I'm slightly disturbed.
Neither have I. That's why I went and got them. They're so different.
Excellent. All right, moving over to George. George has seen everything. I'm sure he's seen chained many things, including chained birds.
Well, I'm not sure where to go with that, but yes, I have seen chained birds on a few occasions, and yes, I think they're rather odd, but it's kind of fun. I guess better they're chained than a cage. In the meantime, I have also a strange fellow. This is Shawnee pottery, and a lot of you will recognize the Shawnee name because in the 30s and 40s, they did all those whimsical cookie jars like Puss in Boots and all sorts of animals, and they're very happy, and this guy is too. He's in perfect condition, and he's ready for a spring plant, although I don't think anyone ever used him for that. On the bottom, he's got the Shawnee mark, which hopefully we can get in where you can see it a little bit. It's the later Shawnee mark. This is right before they switched over to complete modernism in the mid-50s and did away with all of these. So they didn't make this guy for long. And I just thought he was cool. He seems very happy and ready to have you say hello. And he is number 215. The Shawnee frog is $15, number 215.
All right, we'll bring it over to me. Again, I don't do a lot with jewelry, but as I started doing these live sales, and in Illinois, our thrift shops and most of regular sources of material are not reopened yet. So I was doing some sourcing online, and I was able to get a shipment that I was able to tuck this little pin into it that I thought would be a fun thing to add into the sale. It is a stick pin. It has the little plunger stopper thing on the bottom, so it can actually be utilized. It has the multiple crystals in there, all of the stones, and I do not know if they're actually crystal because I wouldn't know crystal if it was smacking me in the face. So glass, crystal, whatever they may be, they do have prongs around them. All the prongs are in place, although I'm not sure, as you can tell by that top one, I'm not sure if the prongs are actually what's holding them in place or if they're also attached in some other way. It's in really good condition. There's a little curvature to the back, but I actually think that's the way it was designed. So this is just a really cute little lapel, ladies' lapel pin, or I guess men's lapel pin too. But with the crystals on it, it's available for $5. You can grab a vintage stick pin for $5 for $302. So it's $302 for the crystal stick pin. Now over to Vinny.
Okay, so everyone bear with me. I have another group of photos. There are going to be 9 of them for this one lot. I call this my industrial photo lot, and you'll see what I mean when I show you some of the images. First one of the lot is this penny from 1972, and it has a computer chip put on it. So that's really cool. That's not a very big one at all. The next one is of these watches, which again is really, really cool. If you have like a watch shop or you just like these kinds of prints, these are very, very cool. There are no brands on them, so I don't know who made them or what era they're from, but still a very cool piece. This one is of some trophies lined up in 2 different rows. This one is really, really cool. Let There Be Light, and it looks like it was, I don't even know what kind of sewing this is, but you get the idea. That's a very cool one. Hammer and Nails. And this one is also a duplicate of that one, almost. Pardon the glare. Here, there we go. That's better. Another kind of tavern piece, but I felt it fit into the industrial look with all of the different gizmos and items that are in this photo. Sporty looking dude with a bunch of sports equipment. There's nothing on here to indicate who the photographer was of these, but still such cool pieces. Now, don't be freaked out by this guy, but I think he might be a mad scientist. You all let me know. I think he's having too much fun mixing chemicals.
It might only be 1 or 2. It's just that someone specifically complained.
Okay, so for those 9 photographs, it's going to be $25, and it is number 467. So you're getting all of those awesome industrial photos for $25, number 467.
All right, bounce over to George.
I love the guy golfing with the snorkel on his head. That's just great. I don't even understand that. Well, my next up is, speaking of photos, anybody remember when John Travolta looked like this? This is a little blurry. I'll try to get it. There we go. Yes, welcome back, Cotter. Yeah, this is 1975. It says right on there, and it's got Up Your Nose with the Rubber Hose and the Sweat Hogs, and then on the back we have Horseshack, who, of course, was the idiot on the show, and there you go with the hairy canary. And perfectly enough, this was actually made in Passaic, New Jersey, and says so right on it. So I haven't actually ever seen anything from this show. It was popular for a few years, and then he went on to Saturday Night Fever, and the show was over. So, but this actually, I thought was kind of fun. So this is $7 if you have nostalgia, and it's number 291. So the Sweat Hogs mug, $7, number 291.
Okay, so do you know, was that a whole set? Like, is that the Horseshack mug, and then there was also all the other ones? I can't remember. I grew up on that show, and I can't think of the characters. I never thought I'd live to see a Horseshack mug.
I am pretty sure that only he and Vinny Barbarino would have actually had special mugs for themselves, because they were the 2 characters on the show people recognize. And probably Gabe Kaplan. Yes, exactly. I think he was a little upset because he wrote that whole show to be about his experience, and then the whole John Travolta thing just took it all away. So, but anyway, it was fun. And I suspect that there was a whole set at one time.
Flashback to the 70s. All right. Basically, as on the opposite end of the spectrum as I can come up with from Horseshack, I've got a piece of Lily Kaplan porcelain. So this is another piece that I picked up specifically to resell in my live sales, and this was part of a larger lot. This happens to be, for those not familiar with Lily Kaplan, she's still an artist that continues to work, and you can go onto her website, and she sells her hand-painted porcelain for significant amount of money. She licensed her artwork to a company called Gift Craft, who I'm not particularly familiar with. I don't know if George has any more experience with it. Pieces of this come up on occasion. It's still a very high quality porcelain. It's still very well made, and she has very lovely, very light design. So this has the butterfly on the drooping leaves, and it says right at the bottom of the leaf, it has the word Lissy. But again, this was something that she licensed. This is not one of the hand painted pieces that she sells on her site. But great looking piece. It's a shallow bowl, more likely a dresser dish of some sort, pin tray. You get this piece for $12, the Lissy Kaplan porcelain for $12, and you get it for number 304. So 304 for the Lissy Kaplan butterfly flower plate. Going to Vinny.
Okay, so I think this is my last item here, and fair warning, I got a little hoity-toity with this one. Found this a while ago. It's a Tennessee handbags purse, probably from the 60s or 70s. Here is the tag here. I have done research upon research upon research and just cannot find anything on this. There is stuffing in the middle section. Let me see if I can get it to open. I think this is the original paper that came in here originally. I've had it listed forever, and nobody has even made me an offer on it, so I think I have it up for like $70. Because again, when I can't find something on the internet, I'll usually price it high, and somebody who does know something, hopefully they'll make me a reasonable offer. So overall, it's in pretty good shape. It's still very soft. On the white parts, you might see a little bit of defects due to age, and because when something gets dirty, when it's on white, it usually shows everything. So with the tag, this purse is going to be $40. It's number 464. Number 464 is $40.
All right, I think Vinny, you said that was your last item?
Yep.
All right, so before I'll pass it over to George, if you want to go through your scroll and figure out, we have about triple the number of people in the chat now than we had the first couple rounds of selling. If you want to look at any of the items that didn't sell, I know George and I have a couple of more items to go through. So if you want to, on the next round, if you want to re-highlight something from earlier in the sale, if you have anything that didn't sell, we will see, if you want to highlight those, so we get a couple other items out. So if you want to start looking at your list, I will bounce this over to George and let him do his next item.
Okay, well, I have one more Lennox lady. I thought this one might be sweet for somebody with a granddaughter or a daughter, because this is called Story Time. Again, these are from the late 1980s. They're porcelain bisque hand painted, and you can see the book on the lap. I just thought this is very sweet and cute. This particular one I am selling for $20. And she's got the Lennox mark on the bottom, Lennox Porcelain Story Time. And Story Time is $20. She is number 259. 259 is the Lennox Story Time. Let's get her where you can see her face. There we go. No damage.
Excellent. Bouncing over to me, I wanted to take advantage of the fact that I actually have George available, because if George can still hear me, I've got questions on this piece. Unfortunately, I think he might have muted me, which, a lot of people in my life want to mute me. This, I believe, is a piece of custard glass. It's beautifully decorated. It has these floral designs that go all the way around it with the lines on the top and on the bottom. Each of the individual flowers are raised. So you've got kind of the Moriage design against the custard glass. The lights here are so bright that this is showing very pale. But what I wanted to do was I got my blue light out, and I don't know if you're gonna be able to see it. It does glow green in the light. Unfortunately, it's not really showing because it's too bright in the room. What's that?
The inside. We're trying to, opening to the camera.
See if we can do a little bit brighter.
Don't blind me.
Oh well, yeah, you can't really see it. It does glow green. I do not have that many pieces of uranium glass, and I had heard that custard glass can glow, but not all of it does. So I was really excited to oh wait, does it glow? And it does. So this is a nicely sized, perfect condition, no chips, no cracks anywhere on the rims. It's $15 for the custard glass vase. You can claim it for $15 for number 313. So 313 for $15. So Vinny, did you have anything that didn't sell?
Dad, can you confirm number 467? Did anybody claim those industrial photographs? If not, I will show them. Well, we show the one that has the price on it. So it was for this lot here, starting with the penny and the mad scientist, the sports guy. So I did have it for 25. If anybody wants the 9 photographs for $20, we can do that as well. Number 467. So we will drop the price down to $20 for the 9 industrial photographs. Number 467.
Excellent, making deals too. So people that are sticking around toward the end can get some discounts if anything's left over. So good idea. Okay, jumping over to George.
Well, I never knew that giraffes came from Japan before I met this one, but this is a Japanese giraffe, or at least it was made in Japan. And this, let's see if I can get it. There we go. I just thought this was a very cute guy. I'm having a little trouble getting him to focus. There we are.
He wants to focus on you, George. You want your face to be in focus.
Yes, I'm trying really hard. He is a planter. There's the opening there, and there's no marks on him at all, not even a maker mark. I'm sure they had a paper label that said Japan that was taken off. So this is going to be probably about 1960. I just thought he was lots of fun, lots of little polka dots, and he is $10. He is number 229, $10, the Japanese giraffe.
It's Jeffrey the giraffe from Toys R Us.
Yeah.
Or Real Nifty Vintage. We just have him start a giraffe collection.
Right.
So my next item is, this to me was one of the more fun items that I had found, because it's currently on my Etsy shop. So if it sells tonight, I'm going to have to take it down. But it was very difficult to photograph because it's a smoked glass, and I'm trying to hold it in a way that people can see this. But it's a 1975 PGA professional par breaker trophy, 1975 Grand Slam. So I did some research trying to figure out who would have received this. The fact that it's a PGA, so it's a professional golf association, I don't know if this would have gone to multiple people. So anyone who broke par across all of the different courses, and it shows the etchings of each course. So you've got the US Open, the Masters tournament, and the British Open are all represented on this trophy, as well as the PGA logo itself. So I'm guessing it's an ice bucket, but it is a trophy. So it was awarded in 1975. Somebody won this and ended up getting rid of it. So I don't know how many of them are out there, but it's a fun piece. And for any golfer, if you were alive in 1975, I was 5 years old. Hey, I won the PGA professional par breaker. I was a very advanced 5-year-old. So you can claim this as your own for only $10. So $10 for the PGA Grand Slam glass trophy from 1975 by claiming it with number 320. So 320 is for the trophy. All right, Vinny, did you have anything else that you needed to review?
I could do the bird chains again.
There was a question that came up and I think George inadvertently answered it, is that indeed a set? Would those have been chained together initially? Do you know that, George? Were those the birds that went with that original? I mean, if there's holes in the little birds, I guess they have to be there for chains.
Yes, those would have been original that way.
So maybe I got a little hoity-toity with that one and put 25. So because Mama Bird's got a big boo-boo on her and I had to super glue her, I had 25 on it, so why don't I knock $10 off of it this time, and we'll make it $15 for number 437. Should be great for spring.
$15 for the boo-boo birdie. All right.
For the boo-boo birdie.
All right, George?
Well, your golf trophy ice bucket inspired me with golf, so I'm going to show this piece. This is a box purse by a maker named Caro Nan, and you may have seen these before. They're generally brown, and they have buildings painted on them, and then a little sign in each building that has the name of attractions in a given area. they were made so that boutiques in, like, for example, New Orleans or Savannah could have their company or their store name written in one of the little buildings and then sell them as an exclusive. Well, after a little while, they decided they needed to do some other motifs, so they decided on golf. And this golf bag, you can tell from the avocado color, is right in the middle of the 70s. The signature on these, they always have these nice clasps that hold very well, and they're signed inside by Caro Nan. Now, the brown ones always have a penny for luck stuck on the top of them, but these ones that are thematic are actually not done that way. But the theme on the top of this one matches the box because it is, again, golf. And these were made in Mississippi and sold all over the country, but mainly in the Southeast at attractions. This one I have priced at $20. And if you're going out golfing, it'd be a fun thing to take your lunch in or whatever you need, maybe your teas. And this one is $20. The Caro Nan box purse is number 211, $20.
So was it sold as a handbag or was it sold as a lunchbox, or like what was the market for it?
They actually were sold as handbags originally because they have a fabric liner. And it's funny, I noticed Jeffrey said it's no Enid Collins, and that is true. It is a different look, but she definitely was inspired by Enid Collins, and I think that she actually outlasted Enid Collins by a few years.
Great.
So,
Marsha Brady thought she wants the lunchbox back.
Never seen one of those before. That's awesome. All right, so I think Vinny was wrapping things up, so we'll just make this our last round. We got through these a lot faster because we had 3 instead of 4. So the last one I wanted to close with, I have others, but you'll just have to come to my regular sale and see what I was going to sell tonight. This one is in honor of George. So this is the Antique Nomad. The way I found George was, and I encourage you to, if you haven't gone to his site, check him out as well. He had a challenge that he issued. It goes going on almost 2 months now. When the quarantines first started, it was called the hashtag Show Off Your Bunker Challenge. And I did a video for that. And they're posted on his site. And also I have a full playlist of those same videos on my site. So there's multiple places to find it. One of the things he showcased in his bunker video was his love for barware, and just in different videos and different interviews that he's given since, he's created this idea of tiki culture and tiki couture and tiki everything. So I've got a tiki mug. So I am selling I've already forgotten what it was. Tiki Leilani is the mug that I'm selling. This is a heavy boy. This is probably a pound at least by himself. He's not particularly tall, about 5 inches tall. He is finished on both the front and the back. Both sides is smiling. So they do appear to be the same on the front and the back. I have another one that I'll sell later that has a different design on the front and the back. It is not stamped on the bottom, but it does have the Tiki Leilani etched right into the front. He's in really great shape, no chips, no cracks. As I spun him there, I thought there might have been a little bit of crazing, but even that's exceptionally minimal. It's not really noticeable. So you can pick up the Tiki mug in honor of George, Tiki Leilani, for $8. And that is number 317. 317 for the Tiki Leilani Tiki mug, $8. All right, we'll bounce over to Vinny.
Gosh.
Did you have anything you wanted to cover, Vinny?
Fireworks, like literally right near my house. So heard that.
Welcome to Maryland.
Is everything okay in here?
Fireworks.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
You're fine. So remember those quote unquote naughty photos of the students for the photography? So that one, and then you've got different camera angles for the girl just covered in what looks to be just a swimsuit cover. I had, what did I have? $12 on those, so I will drop it down to 10 for the set of, I think I said 6. 1, 2, 3. So we'll do 10 for those, and that is number 421 again. Number 421 is going to be $10 now instead of 12.
Excellent. Now we'll wrap it up with George.
Okay, well, I got to wake up here. I I wanted to wrap up with another box. This one is pyrography, and this is a true antique. I thought it'd be fun to end on something that's really old. This is a little over 100 years old. Pyrography or pyrography, depending how you pronounce it, was basically where you would buy kits. They would send these to you, and you would take a wood burning tool, also included, which is a lot like a soldering iron, and they'd give you a pattern, and then you would burn the pattern into the pieces and then assemble whatever it was. Sometimes they were glove boxes, sometimes they were tie racks, all sorts of things for the house. You can see on the inside here, they did not paint the inside, but they did paint on the outside, and they painted on the back a little bit by mistake too, because these were actually made as home craft projects. It was a great way to teach. They showed pictures of you with the whole family all doing this together, and it was a great way to teach your children how to burn the house down. But they are fun, and they are very collectible. This particular one is about 8 inches square, doesn't have any dividers inside, and let me find my number for you here. It is number 209, and it is priced at $20. So pyrography box number 209, $20. And I just want to say that this went way too fast, but this was lots of fun, and I really appreciate being invited, and I hope we get to do something like this again.
Well, I do know that I will be planning a new one of these this cannot get I can't do these too often. I'm also doing my other sale. Sorry, trying to actually get all of our email addresses to show across the screen. There will be another one of these the 3rd Thursday of June. And in that one, I will be inviting Misty to come back and, or to be able to be, hopefully she'll be able to be available that night. So Misty will get a chance. So all of the Misty followers will be June 18th. And I've also received commitment from Alex at Chapter 2 Vintage Co. will also participate in the sale, as well as Fatbird Finds. So there will be another one of these four sellers, one sale events, and that'll be Thursday, June 18th. So this is wrapping us up for tonight, and we've got the emails rolling across the bottom of the screen. So if you claimed anything, please send an email to the person you claimed from. And at this point, being the first one, we didn't get, we weren't organized enough to be able to say, hey, let's create one massive email that we can all share. So at this point, unfortunately, you'll have to send an email to the individual buyer or to the individual seller. If you send it to the wrong person, we can forward it on. But so keep in mind that the Antique Nomad's email address, as it's scrolling across, is TheAntiqueNomad@gmail.com. Trusty Huckster Mercantile seemed to be too much for people to spell, so mine has been simplified to THM, standing for Trusty Huckster Mercantile, THMvintage@gmail.com. And Vintage Vinny is reminiscing of his younger days as the skull collector with his email address, skullking95680@gmail.com. Or I'm sorry, yahoo.com. So we'll let this scroll across so you can write those down. I'll also put them in the comments. And so again, we regret that Misty was not able to join us this evening. We wish her the best. It did go faster than we'd anticipated. Even with Misty, I think we would have, we kind of overcompensated to make sure we didn't go too long. But I appreciate everyone who joined us, everyone who stuck with us. We still got 133 followers, and I really appreciate every one of you giving us your time. So signing off for myself, again, I'm Patrick with Trusty Huckster Mercantile, passing on to Vinny.
Thank you all for stopping in. Please make sure you give this video a big thumbs up for Trusty Huckster. Leave a comment below if you are watching later. And please subscribe to all of us if you like content with reselling, vintage, and other fun stuff.
Yes, that's right. And thank you very much, Patrick. And I hope that everybody had a really fun time watching this, and we'll come back and see it next month, the 3rd week of January. Which day in January? June? I've been locked away too long.
Yeah, we've all been locked up too much. So the 3rd Thursday is when we picked it. So I believe that's June 18th. So that's what I will be doing through the 4-seller 1 sale program. If this catches on and some of the other resellers want to do something of their own, This is not my sandbox. This is just something that I kind of pulled together. I will do them once a month, but I'll also continue doing my weekly sales. Vinny is also doing weekly sales. I don't know if yours are going to stay regularly at this point, but Vinny's sales are on Saturdays at 5 p.m. Eastern. My sales are on Thursdays at 8 p.m. Eastern, so the same time as you joined for tonight's. And George does a premiere video on Wednesdays. What time do you do those on Wednesdays, George?
7 o'clock on Wednesday.
7
That's
Central
7 p.m. Eastern.
7 Eastern?
Yes, that's right.
Okay. And so what he does is, it's not technically a live sale, but he has created a video. He'll post it. And if you've not seen one of these before, it's called a premiere. And so he will be able to run a live chat, just like we're doing here, while his video is running in the background. And I will say it's personally hilarious to watch the comments. People do not understand how he could be walking down the street talking while typing answers to questions in the live chat. So there's a difference between a live sale and a premiere. So George is doing premieres right now. Vinny and Trusty Huckster, we are doing live sales. Maybe we convince George to do another live sale. He's done one before. So we may get him to do some more. But this was a lot of fun. Hope you guys all enjoyed it. Thank you so much for joining all of us. And we're going to be signing off for the night. So thanks again, and have a good night. Bye-bye.
See you guys.
folks.